Hello everyone. Welcome back to Sansan, Best Anime Reaction. Last episode left us with a heavy sense of inevitability, as if the story is marching towards something catastrophic. In this episode, I expect the fallout from recent decisions to begin unfolding. Tensions between factions may explode, and the consequences could be felt on a massive scale. This episode feels like a bridge between build-up and disaster, setting the stage for the final phase of the season. I'm feeling both excited and uneasy, because Attack on Titan never holds back at moments like this. Let's begin episode 16 and see how close we are to the point of no return.
But why?
Let's head in that direction.
It's so quiet. Am I dying?
The day will soon come when we sit at the same table once again. Has it not happened exactly as I said it would, Commander Pixis? Please let me thank you for taking such swift action. Not only have you forbidden your troops from resisting us, but in accordance with our demands, you've also assembled every soldier you have right here in Shiganshina.
Considering the trick you pulled with the spinal fluid, we didn't have much of a choice. Zeke could turn us into Titans at any moment, and Shiganshina has been evacuated, so it's the only safe place for us to be. In any case, what else could I do with so many old
Alright everyone, welcome back to our Attack on Titan recap corner, where happiness goes to die, morals get shredded like ODM cables, and every episode ends with us questioning our entire existence. Today we're diving headfirst into Season 4, Episode 16, the episode that politely knocks on the door of war, then immediately kicks it down with a Titan-sized boot. This episode doesn't open with explosions right away. No, that would be too kind. Instead, it starts with tension so thick you could spread it on bread and call it existential dread jam. Marley's forces are finally ready to launch their counterattack on Parity, and for the first time in a long while, the people inside the walls are the ones waiting for the enemy to arrive. If earlier seasons were about humanity fighting monsters, this episode makes it painfully clear. Now it's just humans fighting humans, except some of them are unfortunately very large. Let's talk about Reiner Braun for a moment, because the man has not known peace since approximately episode 1 of this entire franchise. Reiner is back on Parity, once again standing on the soil of the island he once infiltrated as a child. Only this time, there's no confusion about who he is or what he's here to do. He's not pretending to be anyone's friend anymore. He's here as Marley's warrior, armored titan, and professional sufferer. And the look on his face says everything. This isn't a heroic return. This is a man walking back into his trauma because the world has decided he's not allowed to retire. Meanwhile, Eren Yeager is, well, Eren Yeagering. He's standing on the wall, staring out at the battlefield like someone who already read the ending of the story and decided spoilers are overrated. The episode does something very clever here. It constantly switches our emotional alignment. Are we supposed to cheer for Eren because he's defending Parity? Or are we supposed to be terrified because he looks way too calm about all of this? The answer, of course, is yes. As Marley's airships approach, the episode reminds us that technology has officially caught up with
comrades pointing guns at my back.
Please forgive me, Commander Pixis. My son drank the wine too. I'm doing this to protect him.
When did you first betray us?
You've no obligation to answer that.
I'm sorry.
I only ask because the time at which you changed sides seems to affect your standing in this new regime. Betray us early and you're rewarded with a white armband. It marks you as a proud Jaegerist, correct? Red armbands are used to mark those who are coerced into aiding the Jaegerists, after learning they had drunk tainted wine. And finally, these black armbands mark the rest of us as ignorant fools who drank the wine without suspecting something was amiss. I can't help but be reminded of Marley. They employed a similar system when they took over your homelands, did they not?
There's much to be learned from our enemies.
Including how to make more, I see.
We offered to stand beside you as allies, and you responded by having us imprisoned.
That may be, but since it turns out that the guests we refused to trust were serving us tainted wine all along, I don't know if moving against you was foolish or wise.
Your actions were both foolish and wise. I'd imagine that if you'd put your faith in us and Zeke from the start, the world could have already been saved by now.
You say that the world could have been saved? I was under the impression your plan was to unite Zeke and Eren so that they can trigger a small-scale rumbling in order to deter the nations of the world from attacking us for the next 50 years or so. But that plan would only save this island, right?
Yelena?
It's too late at this point. Zeke gave you all the time you should have needed. And what did you do with that time? You plotted to repay his mercy by killing him. Zeke is the god who was fated to save this world, and you have invited his wrath.
So what? Is there nothing we can do but sit here and wait for things to play out?
Here, you like tea?
Yeah, thanks.
Hey Armin, do you think you could bust us out of here by turning Titan?
Afraid not. I'd blow up half the town if I tried. The Colossal Titan is powerful, but it's far from precise. Unlike Eren's Titan.
So, how did Eren end up beating you to a pulp, Armin? I think it's about time you told us.
Eren was hurting Mikasa with his words. So I hit him, and he responded in kind.
Huh? Wait, what do you mean he was hurting her? What did he say?
Well, he...
Stop. It's fine.
No, it isn't fine. Seriously, tell me what he said to you.
Titans. Cannons, anti-Titan artillery, coordinated military tactics. This isn't the chaotic warfare of earlier seasons. This is modern war, and Titans are no longer gods. They're weapons. And weapons can be countered. Then boom. The battlefield explodes into chaos, and suddenly we're right back where Attack on Titan thrives best. In beautifully animated, emotionally devastating carnage. Reiner transforms, and the sound design alone feels like it punches you in the chest. His armored Titan crashes onto the battlefield, not as an unstoppable juggernaut like before, but as a battered veteran. The armor that once seemed invincible now cracks, chips, and fails under sustained fire. This is a visual metaphor screaming at us. The era of simple power is over. Eren responds immediately, because of course he does. These two are locked in what might be anime's most toxic long-term relationship. Their fight feels less like two titans clashing and more like a continuation of a conversation they've been having since Season 2, a conversation about guilt, responsibility, and whether the world forced them into becoming monsters or if they chose it themselves. But the real MVP of Marley's strategy shows up in the form of Peakfinger and her cart Titan, who continues to prove that intelligence and preparation beat raw strength any day of the week. Peak isn't flashy. She doesn't roar dramatically or smash buildings just to show off. She shows up with a plan, a mounted machine gun, and the energy of someone who absolutely did the group project by herself. The cart Titan's ambush is one of the episode's most important moments, not just for the action, but for what it says about the evolution of warfare. Titans are no longer lone monsters. They're platforms. They're units in a combined arms strategy. And this completely changes the power balance that parody once relied on. While Titans are punching each other like it's a kaiju wrestling match, the human characters are having their own emotional breakdowns in the background. Mikasa, in particular.
May as well just let it go, Jean. We already knew that he turned into an absolute piece of shit. But now he's lost his mind so completely that he went out of his way to hurt the two people he used to care about most.
Assuming that he hasn't just lost it, I don't see him doing that without having some kind of reason. I wonder, could he have some sort of hidden motive?
Heroes of Shiganshina, it's always an honor to see you. It pains me that our reunion must take place across these bars.
No way.
You're on their side too? Let us out!
Seems like more than you have the right to ask for, considering how you guys kept me as a prisoner. Just sit here and wait. Zeke and Eren will meet soon.
Why you?
You must be proud, Yelena. It seems like everything's happening exactly as you planned. First, you get Eren dancing to Zeke's tune. Then, the raid on Marley, winning the Eldian people's support, which gave you free rein to use your poisoned wine to take over the military. Eldia is yours, as is the founding Titan. Now, you can crush Marley and avenge your homelands. That's it, right? The real reason that you volunteers came to this island?
We brought your country out of the past. When we got here, this island was downright primitive.
Huh? But you were really just setting it up for yourselves, right? Making sure the place was worth ruling.
You were played for fools and defeated. What else is there to be said?
Great. Did you seriously betray us just so that Yelena would make you one of her lackeys? You little rat.
Are you stupid? I didn't take the side of these devils. You did. You're the real traitor.
Say what?
You fell for some filth-blooded, potato-grubbing devil just because she liked your food.
Get over here, I'll kill you!
Calm down! The way you would blather about her day and night was sickening. Can't believe I was stupid enough to think that you'd get a grip once that bitch died.
What did you just call her?
I'll make it easy to understand. That spawn of the devil whore deserved it too.
I apologize for his rudeness. This island no longer has any need for those who would curse you as devils. Please believe me when I tell you that the goal we've been working towards is not so petty or hollow as taking revenge on Marley. It is to sever the chains of hate from this world, and in doing so, to save both Eldia and Marley. We're done with secrets. It's high time you learned the truth. Let me lay out the plan that will save the world, Zeke's so-called euthanization plan.
They're all vicious devils, so why haven't they killed me yet?
Brad who killed Sasha, you're coming with me.
Is quietly unraveling. There's a moment where she looks at Eren, and you can almost hear the question screaming in her head. Is this really the same person I wrapped that scarf around? The episode doesn't spell it out, but the distance between them is painfully obvious. Mikasa is still fighting for Eren. Eren, however, seems to be fighting for something far bigger and far colder. Then there's Levi Ackerman, humanity's strongest soldier and professional Titan blender. Levi has one mission in this episode: Zeke Yeager. Their history is soaked in blood, betrayal, and unresolved rage. When Levi finally confronts Zeke again, the episode practically vibrates with tension. This isn't just a rematch. This is personal. Levi isn't fighting for victory or strategy. He's fighting for every comrade Zeke ever turned into red mist. Zeke, on the other hand, is oddly calm. Almost too calm. He talks. He reflects. He hints at plans within plans. And this is where the episode really starts messing with our heads. Zeke doesn't see himself as a villain. In his mind, he's a savior. His ideology, shaped by years of trauma and indoctrination, tells him that what he's doing is mercy. And that's what makes him terrifying. Not the Beast Titan's strength, but the certainty behind his beliefs. The clash between Levi and Zeke isn't just physical, it's philosophical. Levi represents raw survival: fight, kill, live another day. Zeke represents a twisted form of utilitarianism, where ending suffering justifies any atrocity. The episode doesn't give us easy answers. It just throws these worldviews at each other and lets the sparks fly. Back on the main battlefield, Porco Galliard's Jaw Titan enters the fight like an angry chainsaw with legs. Fast, brutal, and reckless, Porco embodies the rage of someone who feels constantly overshadowed. His attacks on Eren aren't just strategic, they're emotional. He hates Eren, not only as an enemy, but as a
Huh? What do you want?
If you're hoping to save Falco, you'll help me.
Help you? How?
You'll put out a distress call on the radio to lure out any spies who've infiltrated the walls.
Don't move. Gabi, stay quiet. I said quiet. Now then, just to be doubly sure, it's Eren Yeager. Correct. Gabi, take that rifle and point it at Eren. Gabi. Eren, move your hands from your pockets.
And what'll you do if I don't?
I'll fire this pistol, and then you'll be dead, brains on the floor. Ever seen that? You won't have time to transform.
Okay. So why haven't you shot me? If you aren't here to pull that trigger, then what did you come here to do? What'll happen if I keep my hands in my pockets?
Doesn't seem like that's something you'll ever get to know, seeing as your brains will be on the floor.
I do know. You aren't gonna shoot. Because you weren't given permission to kill the Founding Titan. You've been told to retrieve it, no matter what. But in order to do that, you need to get me to stay still while you transformed into a Titan and ate me alive. That right?
What do I do? Stand down. Take your finger off the trigger, Gabi.
If you were to defy your orders by shooting me, you wouldn't pay the price alone. Your family in the zone would pay it with you.
Yeah, you're right. I won't shoot you. And it doesn't look like I'm likely to get a chance to eat you either. So that's that.
Seriously?
You found my Titan's footprints from when I first snuck onto the island, right? I still think I did all right. This was a hell of a time to try and infiltrate your military without getting thrown in jail. But I actually have another reason not to shoot you. If you can use the Founding Titan's power, then you have the strength to defeat Marley, don't you? You made the world your enemy. You wouldn't have done that unless you knew you had a chance of winning, right? What do you know that I don't? Do you have more than just the Founder?
Hold on, Pete. What are you doing?
Gabi, you can put the rifle down now.
Suppose I did. What is it that you want?
Freedom for all Eldians, and an end to their subjugation by Marley and the rest of the world. Also, I want to get my family out of the internment zone. I became a warrior to help my father, the one person I can call family, get proper medical care.
Symbol of everything Marley failed to control. Eren, however, doesn't fight like a hot-headed protagonist anymore. He's calculating. He's patient. Every move feels deliberate, almost rehearsed. This is a crucial detail the episode wants us to notice. Eren isn't improvising. He's executing a plan, and that realization should make every viewer deeply uncomfortable. What makes episode 16 so powerful isn't just the action, but the way it constantly reminds us of the cost of that action. Soldiers die. Buildings collapse. The land that was once home to children playing in the streets becomes a war zone. And the episode never lets us forget that both sides believe they're justified. There's a subtle tragedy woven throughout the episode. Everyone here is fighting for freedom, but no one seems free. Reiner is trapped by guilt. Zeke is trapped by ideology. Mikasa is trapped by loyalty. Levi is trapped by vengeance. And Eren might be trapped by destiny itself. The episode ends without giving us emotional closure, because Attack on Titan does not believe in emotional closure. It believes in emotional damage. The battle is far from over, and the sense of impending catastrophe hangs in the air like smoke after an explosion. Season 4, Episode 16 serves as a turning point. It's the moment where all illusions are stripped away. There are no heroes left, only choices and consequences. The world is no longer divided between humans and titans or Marley and Parody. It's divided between people who act and people who hesitate, and hesitation, as this episode makes brutally clear, is deadly. And that's what makes this episode unforgettable. Not the fights, not the animation, not even the shock value, but the creeping realization that no matter who wins this war, something essential has already been lost. So yeah, That was episode 16. Fun times. Totally relaxing. Definitely not emotionally scarring. If you enjoyed this recap, congratulations. You are now emotionally prepared for absolutely.
He got the treatment he needed and survived, but knowing that my term will be over soon, he's been inconsolable. Before I die and leave him on his own, I want to show him that Eldia has a bright future. And for that to happen, Marley's great empire needs to be crushed. There's nothing I won't do toward that end. So long as we can slaughter all the Marleyans, I'll help you however I can.
First I found out that Zeke planned the attack on Liberio. And now you? I thought we were trying to show the world we're good Eldians. If we just work hard and prove that, then one day we'll be set free. Tell me, what have we been fighting for if not that? You're the same as Zeke, a worthless traitor!
Let me ask you, what are we? Are we Marleyan or Eldian? Which one comes first?
We're Marleyans first. Honorary Marleyans.
Not so. Above all else, we're subjects of Ymir. That's one truth which we can never escape. No matter what we call ourselves, we're a people who can turn or be turned into Titans. But as both of us saw at Fort Slava, the power of Titans is on its way out as we speak. Once it becomes obsolete, the Marleyans will have no use for us. They'll slaughter us without a second thought. It doesn't matter how hard we work to try and prove that we're good Eldians. They will put us down like animals before they ever set us free. We have to secure our right to live with our own hands, even if it means getting them dirty.
I need proof. If you honestly intend to cooperate with us, then back up your words with action.
I'll show you where to find the soldiers who snuck into town with me.
How exactly?
If you take me up to the roof of this building, I can point them out for you.
Fine.
They'll change our bodies so we stop having children?
Correct. That is the heart of Zeke's euthanization plan. Once the Founder's power has done all its work, all suffering related to Titans will slowly come to an end. You'll fade away, peacefully.
Wait, how is that going to be peaceful? If the population of Eldians withers until we've all died out, then in this country's final years it'll be nothing but old geezers. How can we be sure we won't get massacred then? You think the world's just going to leave us alone?
The rumbling can remain as a deterrent, as long as your people retain control of the Founder, whilst ensuring that the royal bloodline doesn't die out. Fortunately, it seems Queen Astoria has already been blessed with an heir. So assuming her child lives a long life, you just need to pass on the Founder every 13 years.
You talk as if that's an absolute certainty, but it isn't.
Certainties, sure things. They aren't real. Our world is full of risk and doubt. There isn't a nation in it that doesn't have its share of troubles.
Nothing that comes next. Before we wrap everything up, there's one detail in this episode that deserves to be zoomed in on, slowed down, and emotionally overanalyzed like a true Attack on Titan fan would do at 3 in the morning. And that detail is not a punch, not a transformation, not even a dramatic death. It's Eren's silence. More specifically, the way Eren looks at the battlefield, at his enemies, and sometimes at his friends, and says almost nothing. In earlier seasons, Eren was loud. Very loud. He shouted about freedom, about killing all the Titans, about how unfair the world was. His anger filled every scene he was in. But in this episode, that Eren is completely gone. What we're left with is someone who barely reacts on the surface. He doesn't taunt Reiner. He doesn't scream when Porco attacks him. He doesn't even seem particularly surprised by anything that happens. And that is deeply unsettling. There's a moment where Eren pauses, standing amidst destruction, and simply watches. No inner monologue, no dramatic speech, just observation. This is important because it tells us something terrifying. Eren is no longer emotionally present in the same way. He's not fighting out of rage or impulse. He's following a path he believes is inevitable. This silence ties directly into the idea of foresight and destiny that has been creeping into the story. By this point, Eren knows more than almost anyone else. He has seen fragments of the future. And when someone believes they already know how things will end, their behavior changes. They stop reacting. They stop questioning. They stop hesitating. That's exactly what we see here. Eren doesn't look like someone mock-ing choices. He looks like someone carrying them out. What makes this even more tragic is how this silence contrasts with the noise around him. Explosions, screams, Titan roars. The battlefield is chaos incarnate. And yet, Eren feels detached from it, almost above it. The episode visually reinforces this by framing him alone in several shots.
If there's one thing that is certain, it's that this era of tears and bloodshed is almost over. The Age of Titans will soon be put to an end by Zeke and Eren. There may be countless millennia of human history that have yet to pass, but even given that much time, will anyone ever accomplish an equal feat? The Jaeger brothers will be spoken of as legendary symbols for thousands of years to come. Just as we speak today of ancient gods, long after they're dead, they'll shine in mankind's memory. They'll be known as saviors who lit a path. Is something the matter?
No, but to think that your cause was so noble. It just touched my heart.
That's wonderful to hear. I'm so glad that you're able to understand.
Bad news, Yelena! We need you to come quick, please! We're being invaded! The enemy's arrived! I hear someone was killed. Apparently the Car Titan is here. Seriously? Yeah! Did she betray Marley? That's what Jaeger said. That's odd. What's all the commotion about?
So is it safe to say that you've decided to let us defect to your side?
If you actually give up the other infiltrators. Until you do, I'm keeping you cuffed to the kid. If you try to turn into a Titan, she'll be burned to ash.
That's understandable. And don't worry, the kid'll come around soon enough.
That dainty thing is a Marleyan soldier? I think we can trust him.
Hello, everyone. Hey, what did you do with Falco?
He's around here too, but it seems he drank some of Zeke's spinal fluid.
How did it happen?
Who knows? All I heard was that the dosed wine got in his mouth somehow.
Did it happen when I was wrong? This is completely my fault. Again. I see now. You took over the military by way of Zeke's spinal fluid. Do you have any idea why he possesses such a unique ability?
None at all. I don't suppose you would know.
Of course not. Only one person knows, and that's Zeke himself. Ever since I met him, it's felt as though every word that came out of his mouth was a lie. 4 years ago, I confirmed that hunch. When I finally heard him speak sincerely to you. Believe me, Eren, I get it. I know how you feel. Someday, I'll come back and save you from this.
Separated from allies and enemies alike. Even when Mikasa is nearby, there's an emotional distance that feels wider than any battlefield. From Mikasa's perspective, this silence is devastating. She has always understood Eren through his emotions, his anger, his desperation, his desire to protect. Now, she's faced with someone who doesn't explain himself, doesn't reassure her, and doesn't even look back the same way. The lack of words creates a void, and in that void, Mikasa is forced to confront the possibility that Eren is no longer someone she can reach. Silence also becomes a form of power. By not speaking, Eren refuses to justify himself. He doesn't argue morality. He doesn't explain his plan. He doesn't try to convince anyone. This puts everyone else in a reactive position. Reiner is drowning in guilt and doubt. Zeke is philosophizing about salvation. Porco is raging. Eren? He's quiet. And that quietness makes him unpredictable. This is where the episode subtly flips the usual narrative. Normally, villains are the ones who give speeches about their ideology, while heroes act. Here, Eren does neither. He doesn't perform heroism, and he doesn't perform villainy. He simply moves forward. And that's far more frightening than any evil monologue could ever be. There's also a thematic layer here about adulthood and loss of innocence. Silence often comes when someone has said everything they needed to say and realized none of it mattered. Eren has reached that point. His dreams haven't disappeared, but they've hardened. Freedom, once an emotional concept, has become an objective to be achieved at any cost. By the end of the episode, Eren's silence leaves us with an uncomfortable question. If he truly believes this path cannot be changed, then who is responsible anymore? Eren, for walking it? Or the world, for shaping it? The episode doesn't answer this. It lets the silence linger. And maybe that's the cruelest part. In a story filled with screams, Eren's quiet resolve might be the loudest warning of all.
If he wouldn't lie to you, then surely he would have told you the secret of his special power. At the very least, I assume he's told you that it's connected to drawing out the power of the Founding Titan.
Hey there, why'd you go and shave your beard?
I thought it suited you.
Eren, that woman is exceedingly dangerous. It isn't safe to trust her.
I know. And I don't trust her any more than she trusts me.
So, why haven't you used the Founder's power yet? Where's Zeke?
You'll find that out soon enough. Now show me, where is the enemy?
Right there.
There's the smoke signal. Peak and Galliard tracked him down and forced him out into the open. The Founder is here. Let's pay him back for Liberio. I want that bastard dead! Bring it on then.
Thank you so much for watching this video on General Sansan Anime. I really appreciate you spending your time here and sharing this anime journey with me. If you enjoyed this reaction, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any upcoming videos. Your support truly means a lot and helps the channel grow stronger every day. I'll be back very soon with more exciting reactions, emotional moments, and unforgettable anime scenes for all of us to experience together. Until next time, take care, keep enjoying anime, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.